points, which we will take at the end of the session. The next presenter is Mrs. Vasanthy Sambath, who was introduced yesterday, but I think I will not resist the temptation to introduce her again, given her excellent track record in various matters. She has an MA, MPhil in English, a renowned Bharatanatyam dancer, teacher and a choreographer, a drama artist, playwright and stage director, well trained in Carnatic music, started her career as an English teacher and won Best Teacher Award 3 times. Retired as principal of an international school in Chennai, was also heading the academic wing of Creolon Cosmetic International for several years, conceived and conducted many global seminars on beauty, makeup and theatre arts, organized many training sessions with international make artists for their customers around the globe, have given many solo Bharatanatyam concerts in India and abroad, and also with many of our students. Have taken up responsibility as Master of Ceremony on stage and anchored many television programs, both in English and in Tamil. Has authored many English grammar books for school children. Is a social worker involving herself with many welfare programs to the present date. I must ask a question to Mr. Sambath. Do you ever get to see her with all these activities?
I am thankful.
Mr. Sambath, 30 minutes time from now.
30 minutes. Excluding the time for drinking water. Thank you, Dr. Ramasubramaniam, for introducing me to the audience, though it is repeated, but I'm very thankful. Yeah. Now, Mr. Vijay Kumar started the session on a serious note, and a lot of serious topic aspects were analyzed. Now, mine is going to be more on the emotional side. My topic, as it reads, prospects and problems of community living, especially for senior citizens. The organizing committee have chosen me to speak on the topic not because of my academic excellence, but because of my age and the place where I am living in. I think that is the only qualification I have. So with the confidence that my audience will join hands with me because of their experience, and I'm going to echo only your ideas and your opinions. I'm just standing at your mouthpiece. So I think you will all support me in my speech at various places. And yeah, so now I am going to ask only one question to start with. How many of you use or hear the words my space, my time, my privacy, my freedom of expression, and my independence? Please raise your hands. At home, outside, even in our Srivathsam community, how many of you? Please, if you use it, you please raise your hands. Yes, there starts the fundamental discussion, whether it is inside the community or outside the community. We are the generation who see the wide demographic shift in the lifestyle. According to the India Age Report, the number of graying population was 10.5% in the year 2023, and it's going to be 20.8%. Yeah, in 2050. That is 347 million. This happens because of the expectancy in the lifestyle and the longevity of the elder generation. So here the challenge is, who is going to take the responsibility to give a secured life for the senior citizens? There comes the question, because as I told you, We are the generation who see the shift. For example, we have seen families in the past with more than 5 kids, minimum 6 kids. Now in modern days, we see families hardly with any one child. And not only that, now in the modern younger generation, they feel childless family is the best because that reduces their responsibilities. You might have heard it from your youngsters because we as parents force them to have children. Do you agree with me? Some of us advise, please have children. But now at this age, they are not convinced. Maybe when they come to our age, they may realize. But that is the stronger advice we give them now. So this number will definitely increase. Of course, it is alarming. In the year 2050, the graying population will be more than the younger generation of age below 14 years. Then where will they stand? Who will give them the security for the older generation? These are all the factors, and we are going to analyze, understand, and give some solutions together, both me and you. Distribution of the graying population across states. By the way, these are all the data I collected from the net, but most of my points today is based on my experience, where I get talked to with my friends who are living in other old age homes, rather senior citizen communities. And also I meet a lot of people outside whenever I go outside this gate. So all these observations are combined effort of data collection as well as my personal experience. So we'll have a personal note in whatever I say. I think you would appreciate that. So Kerala and Tamil Nadu will have the wider range of graying population, and the central India will have this opportunity to have more number of youngsters. So now the problem comes for Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Challenge. Again, who is going to give a secured life for the senior citizens? Now the one option is senior citizens will come together, that is the citizens are of same age under the same bandwidth of age, will come together and they choose to live under one umbrella in one place. That is called senior citizen community, or you call it as gated community, or you call it senior citizen cooperative societies, whatever you name it. Here, because the choice is because the needs are meted out very easily because the demands are more or less similar for them. I am going to focus not on the senior citizens of high strata of society. You can win anything if you have the money, if you have the financial support, if you have strong people at your back to support you. But my voice today on the forum is for the people of middle class and below middle class who suffer in old age communities, supposed to be called old age communities, but not meeting the standards up to the living style expected by each individual in the society. Okay? Next you can go. Yeah, this is now getting traction in India because, as I told you, the first two reasons. Now, next is in modern days, people are well educated, the youngsters especially. So they migrate to other countries seeking greener pastures, leaving the elders behind. So now the fundamental pain on the part of the elders is where to go, what to do, right? And here comes the syndrome. Have you all heard about the empty house syndrome, empty nest syndrome? Can anybody tell me what it is? Yes. You sit on your couch, sticking to the TV screen, or getting lost in your mobile screen without doing anything. You don't know what to do. Maybe you spend your time enjoying the good old days where you reigned supreme in your organization or in the family where you were given respect as an elderly person, where you had the freedom to take decisions and youngsters followed you. But now everything is out of your hands. You are single entity in the family. Even though you live in the family, you stay away from the family members. Especially for the people who are single, who become single after some time. The widows and widowers. It's pathetic if you think of them, especially the lower middle class people. They are expected to work in the house sometimes, but they don't have the energy. They don't have the mind to do it, but still they are forced to do it. So the next choice will be to go somewhere where they can spend their time with their aged people, the people of their age, where they can share their feelings, where they can get emotional support. So they choose to come to live in communities which are very substandard. Now let's move on to those points. Next. Yeah. We have to see always both sides of the coins. Always the brighter side is always attractive. I am just going to jump on those points because time constraint, and I want to focus more on the darker side of the coin. Now it is, first one is enhanced quality of life. As you all know, once you go there, as Mr. Vijay Kumar's slide said, the basic necessities, food, shelter and clothing is perfectly provided in all those places, so you have enhanced life. And the next one, safety and security, it is a common sight that you have 24/7 security personnel standing at the gate. At time of emergencies, the nurse comes and gives you the first aid, and sometimes if you fall, when you walk alone, there is some of your friends who come and help you and they put you on the cot. All these are all the common features you see in all the retirement communities. The next one, social engagement. Whether it is convened by the management or by the inhabitants, we have a lot of programs arranged, so the inhabitants get involved. One such standing example is Srivathsam, where we have proved that the cultural wing has given lot of changes in the mental and health problems of the senior citizen. This is the opportunity I can boast about our Srivathsam. Thanks a lot. And see, these are all the pictures for evidence. The wheelchair people who are all participating in the sports, after the sports event, how joyful they felt, how they gained more self-confidence in themselves, all because of the inhabitant support. And we have been doing this quite often to boost their morale, and they gain self-confidence, and all the cultural events, they all shared their views and ideas and the after effects, the effects of that after joining these cultural events. All this we have already witnessed, so I don't want to dwell deep into all this. Access to healthcare, 24/7, nurse is there, doctor is there. If you fall immediately, first aid is given, and the nurse will check your blood pressure, sugar level. All these are all common features on all the senior citizen homes. So absolutely your health is taken care of. You need not worry about that. You feel happy, you are mentally free. Oh, my sugar level is coming down today, so I can go and have halwa in the mess. So that is what is the mental freedom comes. Next, the stress-free maintenance. This absolutely is applicable for the ladies, especially. Just with one bill, month end, all your bills are done by the management, right? Otherwise, you have to think of the bills for the maids, the milkman, the vegetable wala, the grocery, the utilities, and the salary for the maid. And of course, if it is the festive season, then you have to add the bonus, and the security person, the society where you are living in. All this, you need a mobile and calculator to calculate, and then again and again and again you check your purse, you check your bank accounts, and then you pay the bill. So this is totally avoided when you come and live in the the community living places. where everything is taken care of by the management. With just one press in the mobile, through Google Pay, you pay everything in 1 second and then go out with freedom. Right? Okay, so that is the advantage we have when you stay together in a living community. Cost effective, definitely. In communities like this, we have in-house carpenter, electrician, plumber, so on and so forth. You just make a call or register a complaint in the office. Immediately within 10 minutes, people come and attend to that. Otherwise, how long it takes, how many phone calls you have to make. All these are all boon for us when you come and stay in a senior living community. Next one, wellness programs. You have yoga classes, you have sports places, games rooms, and you have, in five-star hotel facilities like communities where you have even cricket courts, billiard rooms, and whatnot. So you feel always energetic. Even here you see people morning, they play shuttle. They play kabaddi outside. People of 60, 70 years. So you have wellness programs. So that gives you more mental and physical health is improved. So you become younger day by day. Cultural and religious diversity. People from all corners of the world come and stay with you. So you have cultural differences. You share your ideas. You share your lifestyle with them. So that gives you a lot of energy. It's boosted for you. You learn to live as a community, and you share a lot of things. The lifestyle of your past, lifestyle at present, you combine and you have a jolly life. The bonding becomes strong. Here, supportive staff. This is the best thing we ever have. When they serve you food, and these people are specially trained to talk to the old people in a very, very, very humble manner, with love and affection, and adjusting themselves to the mood swaying of the elders. They are specifically trained for that. Even some of us will go to the extent of sharing our personal stories and personal feelings with them, which we might not have done with our own sons and daughters. We really miss the servant maid who comes to us every day. One day if she doesn't come, next day we ask them, Kama, what has happened? Why you didn't come? Whether you had fight with your husband. Do you want me to help you? Have you ever asked this with your daughter? Unless and until she comes and tells you. Even if you ask her, she'll say, it is none of your business. It is my life, my personal life. But here, these staff members depend on you for their salary. Whether they are forced or not. But still, you enjoy that closeness. Right? Next one. Reducing the burden on family. Youngsters are free. Just one phone call every day at night and one visit during weekends, their job is over. But we here will be waiting for the phone calls throughout the week, for the one which comes on Sundays. Even if you see them over the video, they say, we are very busy. This happened. I'm not blaming the younger generation. Life is like that. It's highly competitive. It's very difficult for the younger generation to support the older generation now. We have to accept the fact. Right? So we have to take it in right sense and give them that freedom. But still, this gives you emotional impact. Some of the senior citizens go into loneliness. They go into depression because they stay outside their family members with whom they were living once upon a time, but now they are getting transplanted to a different place among different people with a different environment. So this requires lot of effort from each individual to get compromised to this type of life. But of course there is no choice because it is their choice or the family's choice. Now, moving on to the darker side of the life. As I told you, my focus is more on the senior citizen homes where they lack the expected facilities, where they have the substandards. let's go out of the Srivathsam gates, because here we bless our stars definitely every day, because we have the royal treatment. We are having very enjoyable, stress-free life here. Affordability. If you have a big balance of financial background, if you have a lot of deposits in your bank, you can choose your place. But what about the middle class or the lower middle class? Where will they go? I have visited some of the senior citizen homes out of interest before coming to Srivathsam, and so pathetic it is. They just say it is senior citizen living home. When we go inside, you see the roof, you see just something called a mat and one tattered pillow. And the meal served there is totally unpalatable, which is very, very, very disheartening. And I share one of my very, very, very sad experience with you. We both wanted to celebrate our wedding anniversary normally as we do. We gave one huge sum to one of the senior citizen communities in Chennai. We told them to give a good feast on that day. The manager was so sweet, and he said, I can go and serve the inhabitants. Most of them are very old, above 60s and 70s. He told us to come at 9 o'clock so that we can join them for the morning breakfast. And we ordered around 15 items on that day for each individual. We went there at 8:55 to join the group. When we entered there, everything was done. They said, breakfast is over. When I asked the manager, he said, no, today they were so happy and they wanted to taste the new dishes. So we offered them early. I called you, you didn't pick up your mobile. That's it. And casually I went inside. I could not even see a sign of serving a feast to the inhabitants. When I casually talked to one of the old ladies, she said, Amma, we had the usual upuma, the tasteless upuma in the morning today. See how I would have felt? Literally, I started crying. I was emotionally very upset. I started shouting at the manager. You know what was his reaction? He said, it is none of your business to question what is happening here. Your duty ends where you pay. Then you should not have invited me to join you. That was my answer. He said, we called you, you didn't respond. This is how many of the old age homes are operating in other places, especially in the tier 2 cities. You have to visit. You have to visit and see the real status of people there. I don't want to mention the name of that place. Still, I know the address and the place and the name of the manager. If you would like to go, please go. I have even lodged a complaint, but nothing happened because I didn't have the evidence. Stigma. Yes. Among the public, especially the illiterate or under-educated communities, if you tell them you are staying in an old age home, definitely look down upon you. Not only on you, even the family members. How many of you have that experience here? When I told my friends I'm going to go and stay in a community living, they said, why? Why are you going there? What's happening? What's wrong? That happened 2 years before. Now they have realized how Srivathsam is and how we enjoy our life here. So now the perspective differs. It is totally changed. But still, if you tell in your family, how many of your sons and daughters reacted? How many of them opposed when you chose to come and stay in Srivathsam? Please raise your hands. Yes. All others agreed? Definitely not. They might have come and checked here the facilities, how Mr. Sitaraman is, right? Most of the youngsters, they don't allow the parents to go and just stay over there unless and until they are convinced the parents are happy there, right? In some cases, it's a family burden, especially with people with chronic ailments and illnesses, life-terminating illnesses. Who will take care of them? Because it's a very huge expense for them in their monthly salary. So who will take care of them? Who will give them the assisted living? All that can be meted out in the senior citizen communities. But again, is it satisfied fully? Do we have the facilities in all the communities? One more question, we have to get the answer for that. Quality disparities, as I said, one side you have the five-star with communities with five-star facilities. On the other side, you have one roof and one ground. Where is the middle? Where is the balance? Where do you choose? Some people are like cats on the wall, whether to go to this side or this side. This side, it will be a financial pressure for them. On the other side, they cannot live in those places which are not even like the normal houses. So where do they go? What they choose? This is a big question in front of many of the old age people. Cultural and dietary preferences. As I said, some may like chapati, some may like rice. Even here we feel that. So there should not be a custom tailored. In India, we have that we call one fit for all. You make the menu, standard menu. There is no change. Every day this is what it is like hostel, college hostels. But sometimes you need change. Here we have the facility of kitchen. But in some of the places you are forced to go to the meal section. You have to eat what they give. You don't have preferences. Even if you tell them, they don't understand. They don't agree. They say, this is how we can give you. You have to accept. You have to reconcile to the fact that this is what it is. So definitely this leads to depression. Right? It is again an emotional hurt for them. Emotional and psychological. Just imagine a person, 60-year-old, who have been living with his family, sons, daughters, grandchildren. But suddenly he comes and lives here. Nobody calls him. Away from sight, away from mind. The one standard thing is, Amma, I was busy. Tata, I was busy. Papa, I was busy. Then what will you do? You have only your friends around, you have to talk to them. This again becomes an emotional torture for the old people. At the age of 60 only, everything starts. Till you have strength in your health. When you are healthy, when you have mental strength, you don't bother about all this. Especially the single ones in life. They feel it. They don't have their life partners to share anything openly with them. Definitely it's a psychological problem. That is what Mrs. Jaya Rangarajan was addressing this morning. So many problems, mental problems, psychological problems for the elders. Who will address to all this? Community engagement, once again. In some of the retirement communities, I know the place, I know the address, they charge extra for the cultural engagement. It is added to their bills. If you like it or not, monthly you have to spend that much, 1,000 rupees or 1,500 rupees. It is a compulsory contribution for the social engagement. It is not voluntary, it is compulsory. Some of us are introverts. We don't want to mingle in the group. We don't want to share our ideas. We want solitude. So many years we have been having very busy life. We don't want that now. We want to be inside our house. We want to enjoy our freedom, our own time. But because you have paid, they force you to come out. So you will be tempted. Okay, I have paid for that. Let me go. But again, it is a torture at this age. It is not merriment. It's not enjoyment. It's again a tension. Ageism. As you grow old, once again I am just touching the morning session of Jaya. When you grow old, you become weak, you become unsteady, both physically and mentally. And seeing the grey hair, you feel how many more days, how many more years I will live. The fear of death grips you. If you see death right in front of you, that day you cannot sleep. Who is next? So this leads to many psychological problems. Not only that, when you share these things with your friends, they also will be in the same boat, sailing in the same boat. That will definitely, these discussions will aggravate your worry instead of making it less. Right? So sometimes it becomes see, as I told you, if you have the backup, financial support, youngsters support, you need not bother. You can just go, fly and stay with your kids and come back. But what about the economically poor people who have no choice? The children will not ask them to come back. This is how it is. We are comfortable. You are comfortable in your place. Please continue whatever it is. They try to advise you without understanding what mental torture you are undergoing. So this is the place, this is the exact situation where the economically unsound community suffers. Next. Huh? Privacy concerns. Yeah, as I said, sometimes people will come and ask you, thinking that they are so friendly with you, they go just beyond the boundaries, they try to ask you personal questions, you don't answer, so you are stamped as selfish, egoistic, non-social, unfriendly, non-amicable. You have been labeled. How to compromise with this? Already you are in mental depression with a lot of other factors. So who will help you in all this? Here comes the role of the counselors, physio, psychiatrists and psychotherapists. These type of communities should have the visiting professors of psychiatrics and psychotherapists and counselors to bring them out of this mental tension and mental illness, I would call it. Limited health services. Not all the senior citizen homes are equipped with 24/7 trained doctors and hospital facilities. What happens if heart attack comes? Do you have a trained nurse who will give you first aid immediately in that place? Okay, you have tie-ups with outside hospitals, but you have logistics difficulties in that. How many of the senior citizen homes have the trained nurses? If you have the assisted living people, how many assistants know how to give the first aid? When somebody falls on the ground, they just shout for help. What should be the immediate action? Who will go and help them to lift their legs up and just see what has happened? They should not get panicky. They should not call out for help. They should be mentally balanced at that situation and try to help them. How many of the senior citizen homes have these type of trained nurses, trained assisted living assistants? It's not simply enough to push the wheelchair. If something happens at that time, they should be able to help the patients, the old people. They can boast. We have tie-ups there. We have visiting doctors once in a week, but something happens when the doctor is not there at that day. Who is responsible? Where you have the person to talk to, the immediate contact, who is the person? Some places it is not there. Absolutely. So we need to go and ask the neighbors for help, right? In some places, next. Healthcare is not only giving the medicines for headaches and other things. Lot of things involved in that. I think already my moderator is seeing the watch. It's time up? Oh my God. Okay. Now lack of customization, I said. So it is tailor-made bills and menu card, so which is not to the appetite of to satisfy the appetite of the inmates. And isolation within the community, already we dealt with that. Changing family dynamics, as I said, transplanting oneself. And lack of palliative care. This is very, very important in Indian scenario. If a person is with terminal illnesses, some of the old age homes send them out at their last stages. They don't take up the responsibility because they will be questioned in the end if something happens to that person. If they have terminal illnesses, first they admit them saying we'll take care. Suppose if the situation becomes very grim and very sorrowful, sad, with a lot of apprehensions, they send them back. The family is not ready to take them back. Then who will come for their support? Lack of regulatory framework. And before that, I would like to give some suggestions to the government. Now, compared to, see, we have been traveling around. This is the crucial section of my speech because you will all agree with that. Just I'll exceed 1 minute, sorry. Transport. We have special buses for children, school buses. We have special buses for ladies, which the government boasts about. Why don't we have special buses for senior citizens? Right? It should be implemented. Say between 10 and 12. Ply buses. Take, especially in the rural areas where you don't have the taxi services, call taxi services. Make it a point. Make one temple as one destination. Take it as a supermarket. Take it as some bazaar. Weekly 3 days. Just 2 hours. They will have a jolly ride. At the same time, they can even get whatever they want to do. They can buy everything and come back home happily. Even though they live in senior citizen communities. But still, this could be here in Srivathsam, I have seen people with one bag going out, 70 or 80-year-old and standing at the bus stop and trying to get inside, competing with all the youngsters, which is very pathetic. Next one, healthcare. In medical colleges, they send them to hospitals for practice. Why don't the government make it is compulsory that the graduated medicos come and work in the senior citizen communities so that they get first-hand experience? And here, these people also get the benefit of that. They understand the human psychology better, the illnesses which is going to happen in the future. Right? And next, then comes the CSR. Now, this is my address to the company, social responsibilities. They've adopted some, you talk about smart cities. You do a lot of things to make the life easier for the city people. Why don't the companies or corporate sectors adopt senior citizen homes and spend some 10% of their profit to improve the standards of the substandard qualities or substandard homes? The lower level people will get the benefit out of it. And next, advisory committee. Government should have an advisory committee to set right of all these things, and the members of that should be from the senior citizen communities, because every day they face that life there and they have a lot of experience, they have a lot of inputs for the government in that case. And please make the corridors, roads and the transport facilities wheelchair-friendly places. I have seen in Sweden, I have seen the old lady of 90 years moving in the wheelchair with one button, she goes around without any manual help. You have a big basket at the back. She goes to the supermarket, collects everything, and the person there helps her to put everything at the back. She comes to the railway station. When the train comes, the step goes down and one sloping surface comes out. She just goes in and locks her wheelchair on the door. They have separate compartments for that. Do we have it in our railway sectors? Do we have it in our buses? Why don't the government think of all this? Why don't they make it senior-friendly transport facilities? Even in temples, when the old person goes there, do we have battery cars operated inside the temples for going around the praharams? You go there, you really feel, those days I was going around this pragaram for 4-5 times, but now I can't even walk. Why can't we have small battery cars, just carrying one person inside the pragaram and come out? And then another one. Now, these are all some startup ideas for the youngsters. Like I said, wheelchairs can be made very friendly, patient-friendly rather, and the walking sticks with GPS directions and some sensors which would alert them when they are unsteady, when they put the stick on their unsteady surface, or they can even get the premonition that the surface is not even for them. These are all some startup ideas. May not be very business lucrative jobs, but still they can work on that. And especially the Indian youngsters, instead of going abroad and starting startups. And the next one, the professional counselor visit, the professional cyber crime experts, please. We have a standing example in Srivathsam, one person who lost control of his mobile And so many messages were just dropping and he doesn't know what to do with that. Within few seconds, the huge amount of money was totally swindled from his account. That person is highly educated with a lot of degrees as tags at the end of his name. A person is an international traveler who deals with money transaction in lakhs and lakhs and lakhs every day. Then what about the common old man of 70? How does he going to control all this? Yeah, one second. If you press unnecessary apps, which comes and glares at your face every day, you get the fear. Am I doing something wrong? Is it right if I click this button? This fear is there with me as well as with you. I understand. Because you go to the neighbor and say, what is this coming in this? Is it safe to open this? So there should be some awareness programs to clear all these doubts. And adapting, this is one important thing. Counselor visit and some families. Now this is the responsibility of the public. Why don't you adopt the old people during festive seasons? Take them to your house. Introduce them to your sons and daughters. Give them the family atmosphere which they miss. Even the youngsters will learn how to respect elders. They enjoy the company, the local people. They enjoy the company of the older people. Like your grandfather and your grandmother, you take them there. Tell them this is how your grandfather is in some other place where they do. This is the inter-exchanging program which we do in schools. That should be adopted even in old age homes. Next one, then school and college students visit. Instead of going to higher level places, Ooty and Kodaikanal, bring them to the senior citizen homes. Take them to the hospitals. Definitely they will not be afraid. Let them know the reality of life. So one day they will also grow old. They know the parents will grow old and what status they will be. Thank you. I think it would be thanks a lot. So sorry for exceeding the time. I think a lot of takeaways. I think I have done my work